the chart, anything of the sort. Whatever you want to ask, you can ask, and I'll try to answer. And that's how things will go for today. So quite relaxed, and we'll just go with that. So I see we have leading edge from Australia. I think what's up. Uh, Jeff CZ from Montreal. What's up? I'm not gonna come back soon. The borders here are still closed. Actually, they're not closed to go out. But I look at the flight from to Canada like a few days ago, a few weeks ago, and they had only like a few flights. You got to do like 5 different flights because you got to go through, I think it's like Bangkok to South Korea, like Japan. Then it's like something where like Japan to Portugal or something. And then Portugal to Toronto, Toronto to Montreal. It's pretty crazy. So I'm not gonna go back soon. It's just insane. So yeah, I'm gonna do that for now. What's up, Antonio? Welcome. Cool. So we have a question here. Let's go through that for now. And if you have a new question about anything, trade setup, anything of the sort, psychology, mindset, anything around that, or maybe facing a challenge right now you want to be able to overcome, come below with your challenges. I'll be able to give you advice on that and help you find a way to move forward. Okay. That's what we do with our students a lot of times. We try to answer the questions and try to find out what they're struggling with and then answer the question on how to move forward. So Jamie is asking, how do you deal with variance and managing risk consistently through down periods? That's a really good one. So what happens is a lot of people, when they do well in trading, they tend to slip up because they say, "Oh, I'm doing well. No need to journal. No need to do that and that and that. It's fine. I'm good. I'm super good." And that is an issue because the fact that if you feel like you're good, then you stop doing things, and if you stop doing things, then your results suffer. So then you get to like a drawdown or something. That's what happened to me my first year when I went to travel. I went to a pretty big drawdown the first time, like a 10% drawdown or something, and that's the issue there, right there. So the thing you gotta remember is, then when you get to a drawdown, then you are likely to go to a bigger drawdown because you have a drawdown, you feel bad. You're like, oh, I was good before, now I'm not good anymore. So things don't go well. That's not good, and so you might get to a bigger drawdown. And the issue with that is, how do you get back on track? Right, that's tough. So, just the question again. Yeah. So basically, what you want to do is you want to keep your measures proper. You want to have a plan on what you're gonna risk per trade. Respect that plan all the time. I think that works fine. So if you don't have a plan for your risk and how you're gonna deal with things, then it's not gonna work. I have a quote here that I wrote a few days ago. I had a coaching call with one of a good trading psychologist, and what he said is basically you need to be prepared for the eventualities of when you will fail. It's only fun to fail, but you need to be prepared for when you fail and what happens. And that's all the game there is in trading. If you're not prepared for these things, then you're gonna have to kind of figure it out in the way when you're there. And figuring things out when you're stuck is really hard to do. But figuring things out before you're stuck is really, really good to do. And that's something that you can practice. Think about what would happen if you had a 10% losing month, a 10% losing drawdown or losing month, or what happens if you had a, I don't know, like a time where you cannot do your reviews on your charts for your zones. What would you do then? If you can figure this out, and if you can do something about it, then you're more likely to, when you get there, get back on track faster. So it's all about kind of planning things out and being prepared for when things happen. Like maybe you have a meditation where if you have a losing month, you do that meditation all the time, every week or every day, and that's going to help you get back on track. Maybe when you have a time where you cannot review your chart, maybe you have like a fast review fast review process where you can just review your chart in like 5 minutes, and that can be helpful, right? But you need to prepare for these things first. Hope that answers your question, James. Awesome. Yeah, we're having a beautiful day here in Bangkok. It's super hot as always. Not raining for once. That's good. It's pretty good. Okay. Antonio asked, how do you choose which pairs to trade on certain days? Good questions. So some people like to use strength meters. I think these are really popular these days. People like these things. It's like apps so you can find out the strength of two pairs, one against each other, which one is more strong, whatever. I don't use that myself. Basically, you'll see the way I trade is I use zones, and to me, zones dictate how currency pairs might reverse. I don't look at the strength of a pair. I look at whether or not it can reverse. And so based on that, you don't have to look at any app, anything. You just look at your zones, and this will help you decide which pairs is likely to move. And then you want to look at, of course, is the pair choppy at the zone? Is it like just in a tight, small range, or is it like bouncing and going back in the past? That's what you want to look for. So a pair that's like really choppy, it's not gonna work. A pair like I'm just looking at the chart here quickly. A pair like Euro USD in the past 2 weeks was not good. A pair like Euro USD now is good because it's really strong. And I can show the chart later if you want. It's totally fine. A pair like GBP and ZD, the pound using the dollar, was really choppy recently. It's been like at the top of a range for a long time, like just getting choppy there, doing nothing. But now it's getting a little bit better. It moved a little bit more strongly. That's kind of what that's what you want to look at for sure. So it's not about the strength. The issue is like when you rely on a currency meter, like an app or website or whatever, is what happens if that app or website goes out of business, like they close the site or they close the app? What do you do then, right? There's no way you can like there's no way you can kind of go back on track, right? You have to find a different app or different place or something, and that's hard, right? That's really hard to do. So I recommend that if you're gonna have an app that you follow or a website you follow, like a currency strength meter or whatever, make sure you have a way to replicate that without the app or the website. Make sure it's like your own thing, and that will be much better. Okay, so that's the issue. But I don't use them. You can use them if you want. Totally fun. But yeah. Okay, let me check the comment here. As we said, I'm gonna answer a question here about trading ideally, like not anything else, but we can ask something else if you want. I'm still in Bangkok, but if you have any question about the chart, the setup, or whatever, make sure you are commenting in the chat. I would appreciate to answer them. Someone's asking, are you French or Spanish? I'm from Canada. I speak French, my native language. I appreciate Samuel. Samuel says, thank you for doing what you're doing. I appreciate it. That's super awesome. I definitely want to be able to help you guys kind of progress and move forward. I feel like a lot of the things people talk about in trading, especially, are really repetitive, always the same, and they don't really help. So that's kind of my goal, to be able to help people where they need some help and being able to do something different. That's why I pretty much don't follow any channel on YouTube about trading. I just do my own thing, and I found this to be helpful because you can figure out and focus on what works, and that's what people talk about. That is always the same repetitive things. So here's a tough question. Forbidden knowledge asks Thailand versus Vietnam. I don't know. I like Vietnam a little bit better, but I also like Thailand a little bit in the sense that Thailand is much more built up. It's much more convenient. It's much more developed than Vietnam, and but I would say the small cities in Vietnam are really nice near the beach and everything. That's super awesome. The Vietnamese food is better, for me. So it's a tough challenge, definitely. Antonio asked, do you scalp or day trade? I only do swing trading. So I trade on the forward chart and the 1 hour chart from Algo now. So I don't really day trade. I used to do this like a few years ago. I stopped when I began traveling, and I will not go back to day trading, of course. Here's a good question. Samuel asked, any vital trading resource you can recommend? That's a question that depends where you are in your trading journey. Are you a beginner? Are you advanced? And also, what's your goal with trading? For example, if you want to have freedom, maybe you get like an algo to be able to get freedom, and that algo is going to execute your trades. But if you're a beginner, maybe you need something where you track your trades better, right? Maybe you need something different, of course. So it depends where you are. For people that are maybe intermediate, maybe you need some help with like getting funded, right? That's different. Or maybe you need some help with different parts. So it really depends. Omni says, I wish to learn systematic trading. How do I go about doing it, especially the EA part? That's a tough one. So here's the thing: the best way is to do systematic before algo. Algo, like the EA, is something that comes after when you are really clear about your systematic trading. So the best thing you can do is like try to create a strategy that's systematic, which means all rules can be really objective, not subjective. And once you're there, then the only thing you have to do is you have to trade this manually for some time. about a year or so. And then once you have some good result with that, you know the strategy, you trust it well, then you can move it to an algo. And that algo is going to run by itself. But I think you need practice in the market, practice live in the market to be able to know the strategy in and out. And then you can code it later on. Then you can kind of code that, put it either pay someone do it yourself, it's totally fine. And then you're able to use it to not be there in front of the chart taking trades. But you need to get this knowledge of the market first, definitely. Hope that helps. Okay. Madwash has 1 minute and 1 minute I can actually scalping with 5 minutes regular candlestick as reference. So depends. Depends what your rules are. You gotta look at your rules, and that has to be tested, of course. Uh, Strategy says, I want to know technical assist and price action works really, or is it just a trap? Well, it depends how you use it, right? So I get this a lot. Like, is moving averages working, or are are Fibonacci working, or whatever that is? It all depends on how you use it. And some people believe that their own style is the only style that works. That's not true. One guy might say, "Oh, price action is the key," or moving average are the answer, or you should use Fibonacci. It's what will help you get rich, and that's not true. They just know how to use it their way, and you got to kind of come into trading with finding out those different tools at your disposal. Now figure out how you want to use them, and figure out what also resonates with you. Maybe you like price action, maybe you like candlestick, maybe you like something else. That's fine. Just use that, develop it in your own way, and find a way that works with that aspect, that tool. It's pretty simple. I'm happy to hear. Uh, Matter says, I pronounce your name better than anyone in India. I appreciate it. A few people ask, am I doing these platform challenges now? I'm not doing these challenges now. The reason is I don't really need capital for now, and the time we'll get for get capital for this platform is a lot longer than I would take to bring my own capital in trading. So, for example, maybe platform at the beginning with like a $10,000 account, or maybe 20,000, 50,000, whatever. That's fun. But then you gotta do a challenge, and you gotta scale that amount after. So it's not really worth it for me at this point. And I only trade stocks. I only trade forex. Stocks are different. The reason why I trade only forex is because I travel a lot, and I want to be able to trade pretty much in any time zone in the time that I want. With stocks, you kind of have to be there when the market opens and closed, so it's a bit different. So I didn't want to do that much. Um, Trading with with too much size when you're down is a common mistake a lot of traders make. How do you keep away from doing this? Well, simple. Basically, you gotta have a plan for your size, right? And we just talked about this recently. So let me know in the chat if you are trying right now to get capital from platform. If you are doing a challenge or you want to do a challenge with the platform, and we can cover that. But basically, you need to have a plan for your risk management and how much you're gonna risk for when. When this happen, I risk that. When this happen, I risk that. When I have a drawdown, I cut my size in half. Or when I have a good time, I can increase my size by 0.2. Okay, that could be something you do. So you need to have a plan on that. Um, so according to you, who is the best price action trader in the world? The real one at the course selling gurus? Well, here's the thing. The traders not selling courses, it's hard to hear about them, right? You're gonna hear about them anywhere. So it's kind of like trying to find someone who's doing something but not online, sharing it, right? So how do you find that person? It's really hard. So I don't know any trader who's I know some traders who are trading on their own. They don't want to be exposed to anyone. They don't want people to know about them. I used to know a guy in Canada who was a really good trader for a fund. He was trading like a big fund, but then he didn't want to be kind of not exposed, but he didn't want to be known online at all. So that's hard to do, right? So those are people out there. I would say one of the best one you can learn from is Al Brooks. He does have some books and courses, but even then, that depends if you want to learn from them with the course or not. You don't have to, but his course and books are really in details, and you can definitely learn from him if you want. I have like 2 interviews with him anyway. You can learn from these interviews first, and if you like his style, go to the courses if you want or the books. Works fine. Yeah, Paul Tudor Jones could be good. See, I didn't really know him. I didn't really work with him, so it's hard to know. But he's definitely a good person to learn from. Definitely. Um, okay, let me see the next question. That's a good one. Samuel says, if you could say one thing to your younger self at the beginning of your trading career, what would it be? I think it would be something around the fact that you shouldn't try to figure everything out yourself. So I used to think that I could do everything myself, learn trading myself, trade myself, because the thing is I want to prove people that I could trade and make money in the market. So I tried to do it all myself. I did that for 2 years, didn't get any result, and I even lost money doing that. Right. So then I began to talk with people, and it doesn't mean you have to like pay for a course or anything of the sort. That's something different. But it means that if you talk to people that are doing trading, then you'll learn a lot from them. So that's what I would say to myself. Try to talk to people that are trading, not like the people on Instagram necessarily, but people that are doing it full time in a trading meetup or something. And these people are gonna give you a lot of advice that you cannot get in a book sometimes, you cannot get in a course sometimes, because they are really based on what you're facing now. And it's really hard. Like you can pick up a book, but you cannot ask a question to a book. It's really hard. The book won't reply. You can get a video course online, but again, you cannot ask questions to the course unless there's support with it or unless there's a coach behind it. It's hard to get answers to your question, your problems. So that's what I would say is super massive, is having people around you, creating a circle of traders around you that you can ask questions to and get feedback from all the time. And that would be super awesome. So that's what I've done in the past, like since 2015, the past 5 years. That's what I've been doing, and it makes a big difference. Yeah, Al Brooks. Yeah, this one. So that one. Cool. Let me see here. We have a question from Antonio. What would be your best leverage and lot size for a $500 account, as per your experience? Okay, so here we'll. That's something I share to everyone. It's quite simple. Let me see if that works. Give me 1 second. I'll change the screen here. Boom. Okay. So here's something that people don't know. Okay, first, let me change that here. First, let's talk about the lot size on the trade. Okay, that's something really simple. Like people think it's hard to do, but you just go here online, and you go to you type in lot size calculator. Okay, there we go. And then once that's done, you simply go to the first link or the second link or the third link, doesn't matter. Who cares? Then you go here. Then you enter your account size, $500. Then you enter your risk ratio. So that is your percent risk per trade, or you can switch to money. Let's see what we're gonna do with the percent per trade. I risk 1% per trade to be really like risk averse. And this way you can calculate this too if you want, the risk ratio. But for now, I'll just do it 1%. What is your stop loss in pip? Say I'm day trading, for example, which I don't. So I'm gonna have a 20 pip stop loss on my trade. And then what you do is, what do you do? Contract size here. I think you need that contract size. Ah, okay. So they want to know, uh, I guess how many units is in a lot. I guess that's it. Depending on your account, let's just do that. I think that should be a million. If you need $5, okay. Get 2,500 units. So that would be, yeah, 0.025. Actually, it's, yeah, this way. So that would be 0.025 lot. There you go. Okay, pretty simple. So that's how you calculate your lot, or your lot size per trade. That's how you do it. Now, when it comes to your leverage, that's also simple. Is you look at how many trades you take on average altogether. Like how many trades have you opened maximum together. Let's say you have 5 trades open at the same time. Then you need to find a way where your size of your 5 trades respect your margin on your account, margin available, and based on that, you divide by how much leverage you should have on your account. So let's say we're gonna take, I think we get the value here of the trade. Actually, what you do is you take this one, get a calculated before. You look at the value of the trade, which is not here, but it's basically the uh, price of the pair right now. So right now the euro is at 1 point something. Why isn't it loading? Okay. Um, okay, 1 point, let's say 1.19, or yeah, 1.19 to be clear. That's fine. And then you look at how many units you have. 1.19 times this. So trade value is like $3,000. Okay. So if you have five at the same time, you have 5 times $2,000, like $15,000. That's what you need to have in margin. Now, what kind of account would allow you to do that? 500, actually 15. I'm just doing this because it's hard to calculate mentally when you're live on YouTube, but you could do this mentally if you want. So 30 to 1. Okay. Now I suggest you pick a little bit higher than that because you always have some, like, you don't want to be at the end of that, the limit of that. So you go with higher than that. You could go with like 50 to 1. That would be fine. You could go with a little bit higher if you want, but don't go to like 1,000 to 1. It's not really worth it there. Okay. So how that makes sense. I appreciate. Udesh says your videos are more valuable. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, also you can use TradingView risk reward tool. You can do that. It's even more simple. But here's one where you can just do it manually if you want. PK says any email I can reach you. Yeah, go on my profile on YouTube. Go to my account. Go into, it's the last tab. I think it says profile. I'm not even sure. And then click on that. You'll see my email there. It's quite simple. Or just subscribe to my daily email that I send. I send daily emails that are focused on growth for traders, and you can receive them for free. Just go on my website, sign up for that those emails. Quite simple to do. If you can do that, then there's an issue. Just see the question we had before here. Okay, all answered is perfect. Jordan says, in your opinion, which do you feel is more important? Learning how to trade a win, or learning how to handle a loss? Well, both are important. The issue is, let's say you don't know how to handle your wins. You win, then you get super confident. And as I said before in the beginning of my life, is when you win a lot, you become too confident, and then you say, "Oh, I'm good. Don't need to journal. Don't need to do this and that," and then you go back to a drawdown. So that doesn't work well. When you don't handle your losses, same thing. You have a loss, then another loss, then another loss, and then you're like, "Oh, it sucks. I'm not getting any wins," and then you can go into a bigger drawdown, or maybe you risk more, increase your size, you do this and that, and then turns out that you are getting in a bigger drawdown because of that. So both are as important. That's the point. Um, okay. And it says, what is your main strategy? It's a Bollinger Band reversal. that I use on the 4 hour chart and the 1 hour chart. And if you want to know the setup of that, you simply go to your browser. Give me 1 second here. You go to your browser. You go to desiredtrade.com// BBR strategy, and this is a free course you can get. Basically, that teaches everything. There's no attachment to it. There's no like selling anything there. It's just a free course. You can just sign up for that, and you'll be getting the. That's strange. What's up there? I'll have to work on that. Anyway, that's going to be getting you the course there. Okay. If you can't get in, we'll just sign you up manually. It's fine. Just send me an email on that, and I'll be happy to sign you up on that course. But that teaches everything from all the rules to trade example to everything there. So you can learn everything there. I might be able to put the link in the chat here. And that's kind of my way to give you guys value, because I know for a fact that everyone out there charges for strategies. They all have a price for it, or it's $295 or it's $500 or whatever. I give it for free because I want to help you guys get some result, and I really value the strategy. I really use it a lot, so you should be able to learn it. And there's no excuse for like not having a strategy right now, because you have this, you can use it. It works well. You can backtest if you want. It works well, and you'll be on your way to get some result. I really care about giving you guys value, whatever way I can. So that's how I do it. Okay, Udesh asks, which is better and safer, binary, stocks, or forex? I'll let you guys comment in the chat which one you think is the least safe. Let's go with that. Which one you think is the least safe? Comment in the chat, and I'll just give you an answer fairly shortly. Okay. I'll be surprised if we don't all agree with that, but let's go with that. Curious to hear your answer. Yeah, okay. Mohammed says option the least safe. So binary option definitely is the least safe. So stocks, here's a different belief people have. So stocks are, to me, a little bit more risky if you day trade, right? If you're in the market and you day trade, because the fact that there's some gaps in stocks, and you can just put a trade like the night before, and you wake up and then your stock is like way beyond that because of gap. So in my opinion, that's not safe. Some people say, "Oh, it's fine; they can deal with that." But then in forex, the movements are sometimes more fast in the day. You have the news that moves the pairs a lot, very often, like almost every week. There's different news to be aware of. That can be not safe. It depends on what you prefer. I think that forex is a little bit more safe in my opinion, but that's just what you believe, of course. Alexander says, which market do you trade? As I plan to move back to Bangkok from Canada. Thank you. Well, I trade Forex. I trade about 15 pairs right now. I have the list here that I can load if you guys want. So a few AUD pair, a few Euro pair, mostly the majors, a few other like alternative pairs, but that's pretty much what I trade. So just do that here. They are here on the right side. So ADCAD, HBY, ADZD. The only one I don't trade here is this one, S&P. I don't trade that. The Hong Kong dollar index, I don't trade that. It's pretty much pointless. Although here, I set up here. I set up here too. That's interesting. Okay. S&P, I don't trade that. USD, Hong Kong dollar, I don't trade that. Reason is that these pairs are not really good to trade. It's pretty much, I just have them there for experimenting and looking at them. But that's it. And gold, I don't trade that either. Even though we had a pretty good run here. So that's about it. And by the way, I stopped trading for a month about like last week. Had my best month so far of the year, so I stopped trading for that month. I'll be starting to trade again on the 1st, or like Monday, basically next Monday. So I think the 3rd, yeah, something like that. So yeah, these are pairs that I trade pretty much. Go back here. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions that are maybe just joined us live recently, I don't know if people are there live now, make sure you ask a question in the chat. I'll be doing a few more, and then I'm gonna go out because I didn't go out the past few days. So I would love to hear your question, and I want to be able to help you out to progress this coming week or this weekend even. Here's a question about whether you should focus on one pair or multiple pair. I believe in multiple pair, but I've seen both. Some people focus only one pairs. They maybe day trade, they have more setup. So it's all about, do you want to have more strategies in only one pair, or multiple pairs and one strategy. Okay. Um, there's good points to both. The thing about having multiple strategies in one pair is the fact that you get to know the pair better, right? The good thing about having multiple one strategy and multiple pair is you get to become an expert in your strategy. You get to become an expert in your execution. So that's a good point. It depends what you prefer, of course. It's all depending on you. Um, what is the best indicator for scalping? I would say scalping, ideally no indicator. I've done a good interview on that in the past. Well, you can learn first of all from Al Brooks, which we discussed before. Al Brooks is a scalper, so you can learn from him. Or you could also learn from a different interview I've done in the past about Jean-François Boucher. He's a good one to learn from. So I might be able to. I'm not sure if I done a place in that, but maybe the interview with Al Brooks could be a good one. Give me a second here. So Al Brooks is using only price action to trade, to scalp, and that would be someone to learn from definitely if you want to be scalping. Here we go. Okay. Here's a question. I really believe in that a lot. So, Yam Kala says, you have an audited track record that people can see before buying your courses, or do you expect people to blind buy your courses without knowing you're actually profitable or not? Well, here's the thing that I really believe in, and people might disagree. It's totally fine. You can unsubscribe if you don't like it, but I don't feel like I have to prove people anything. And if you buy someone's course only because of their track record, I think there's an issue there. There's a lot of fake things going out there, fake track records everywhere. So I don't really want to prove anything to anyone. If you got a value from my free stuff, then that's awesome. You can buy the course if you want or the program. But if you are looking for proof, then I'm not here to provide proof. That's just not my business that I'm in. I want to help people based on the fact that they like my advice, and they like what I've given them, and they believe I can help them. If you don't believe I can help you and just want to have a track record, then you are always going to second guess yourself in the course. Oh, maybe it said that, but it's not really worth it. So I just don't waste time with that, and I just prefer to be honest here. I'm showing what I do. I'm showing what I come across in trading and stuff, but I don't want to prove people with track records and everything. It's also a waste of time and don't really work well. Also, we found that when they give people result strategies like track records or whatever or statements, they always look for the best statement. So like you give them, oh, you made like 10% last month. They have someone that made 20% last month. They want to take that course, right? So how's that useful? And it's just not what I want to do at all. So you should, if you like my advice, if you like my lifestyle, what I do, what I trade, then that's fine. You can take my course. If not, it's fine. We have people taking it anyway, so no issues with that. Reese says, what are your thoughts on momentum-based strategies instead of mean reversion? Yeah, I think ideally you should have a mix of both reversals and both momentum-based. Sometimes the market is reversal, sometimes it's momentum-based. So, or it's in a trend, I should say. So it really depends. You should have a mix of both because they also complement each other. When sometimes, especially if it's really systematic, the strategy that's momentum is going to fail, but the one with reversal is going to win a lot. So they kind of go together with each other. And I think that's the best thing to do there. What's my strategy to trade? Just go back in the chat. Check out the link I've posted a few moments ago about the free course I have for strategy. You can get that there. Here's the strategy I use. What percentage of trading is done by algos compared to manual? Well, the actual entering trade and exiting trade is all done by algo now, unless there's something that I catch that the algo didn't see or something. I can do it manually, but otherwise there's like a 5%. So 95% is with algo. The only thing I do is I look at the chart in the morning. I look at the zones, I place my zones, and in the day or in the night, the algo will take trades with that, and that's it. So it's about 95% of the trade that are taken with the algo. Um, how much leverage you recommend? We covered that before. You can just look at the replay of the video if you want. For Mohammed, you use volume with Forex trading? No, I don't use volume. And the issue with volume is that it's based on your broker only, not the overall market. So it doesn't really show much. But that's why I don't use it. Okay. What is your opinion about the best and simple steps to get into trading, which also helps for beginner? The best way to get into trading is you learn the mindset first by surrounding yourself with other traders. You learn from these traders, you ask questions if you want, and then you start trading a little bit, you start practicing a little bit, creating a strategy, finding out ideas from these traders. You can ask them like what they trade, they will tell you. You can put this together with something that makes sense for you with the strategy. Try that in the market, practice it, and then you'll be good to go. And you have, first of all, you have the mindset first, which means that you have less issues with your mindset, psychology. That's good, and you'll be able to ask feedback for what you're doing, and that's really good to do. So that's where I suggest to do it, of course. Rob says best brokers for US resident. Just type this on YouTube and you'll find my videos there that I published a few weeks ago. It's exactly titled that best brokers for US resident. You'll find it there. I think the best ones are, I forgot, I'm not in the US. It was like IG, there was Owenda, there might have been FXCM, and another one. So you can check that out. Would you say trading provides us freedom, which is much more important than the monetary aspect? Yeah, it does, definitely. If you're able to go on a trip for a week, not a weekend, but like a week somewhere, and you can trade and make money, yeah, that to me that's freedom. You're able to fly whenever you want. You do have some like limits to the market and stuff, but yeah, it provides freedom, definitely. And to me, that's more important than money. Like you can make $100,000 per year at a job. You have to be there like all the time. You work 10 hours a day, or maybe you're making more money than that, but that's fine. Uh, but then you don't have freedom to do anything. So I definitely recommend trading otherwise because you have more freedom. You can do whatever you want, and usually the income you make is not tied with the time you spend on the chart. It's tied with how much effort you put in, but not the work in the chart. So definitely good. Yeah. Octa FX, I've never heard of that. I don't know. FX Pro, I might do a review with them in the future. They are a decent broker, so maybe I'll do a review with them in the future. We'll see. Okay. What is your opinion on the trader who turned an initial account of $2,500 to 50 million? I don't think that happened. I've never seen that before. So if that's like in general, well, I think there's something to it that you might need to see the whole story behind it. Or it was gambling, and you wouldn't expect to do that with a live account. That is your whole saving to be able to live with. The straight tracking spreadsheet is really work. If yes, can you please explain? What do you mean by trade tracking spreadsheet? I think if it's like an Excel to track your trade, yeah, it works. You just put your trades there. It's fine. But I'm not sure where that is. Okay. ResFX, I'll read that book definitely. I'll ask Jack. It's awesome. Cool. I guess I appreciate your time here. And whether you are deciding to join a program I have or anything in the sort, it doesn't matter to me. As I said, I want to bring you value. And definitely check out in the links that I've shared with you the video with Albrox. Worth it a lot to watch this interview. And the free course I have with the strategy that I've published. Okay, so that's really what counts here. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section as always after you do this live. I want to hear your questions or anything. I'll do a second video later with your questions and we'll make sure to give you value. And I want to make sure that you are able to um awesome. What's up, Karen? Welcome. Yeah, we didn't mean to Singapore this year. We'll see next year. So yeah, I want to make sure you guys are getting value and that you progress and you get results. That's all that matters. Feel free to reach out if you have any question. I'll be happy to help. And I'll catch you pretty soon here back for next video. By the way, we have an awesome video coming out this coming weekend. It's gonna be pretty cool. I won't say the guest name, but it's an awesome guest, so you guys can check it out. And I will catch you here pretty soon.